Principles Show daily podcast by and for you.
All right, back again for another deck dive.
Sounds good.
This time, we're heading to North Africa.
Okay.
Going to check out Egypt's plan to become like a major player in the global energy market.
Interesting.
Yeah. We found this really cool article
Oh, yeah.
from the BRICS joint website,
Right.
and it talks all about Egypt's strategy.
Okay.
They've got this big reveal planned for ADIPEC 2024.
ADIPEC.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know,
no.
ADIPEC, huge energy conference.
Oh, right, of course.
It's going to be all about total energies, offshore, gas fields,
Wow.
maybe even some European energy security stuff.
No kidding.
Should be pretty interesting.
Definitely.
Let's dive in.
No.
So what really stood out to me in this article
Yeah.
was that Egypt's not just trying to, pump out more oil and gas.
Right.
They want to be like a hub for the whole energy industry.
Yeah, that's what's really intriguing here.
Like they want to control the whole game.
Exactly.
That's
It's a pretty ambitious plan.
very ambitious.
And they're being strategic about it.
This article highlights their plan to unveil a new investment policy paper at ADIPEC.
Oh, at the conference.
Yep. It's no coincidence they chose that stage.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's like their big pitch to the world.
So this investment policy paper is like,
Yeah, it's like, come invest in Egypt's energy sector.
and what's the offer? What are they promising?
From what we're seeing, Egypt's pulling out all the stops to attract investment,
Okay.
especially in refining and petrochemicals.
Refining and petrochemicals.
Yeah. Turning crude oil into gasoline, plastics, fertilizers.
Oh, so they're not just thinking about extraction.
No, they're looking at the whole value chain.
And you know what they say?
What's that?
Location,
Yeah.
location.
Right.
And Egypt's got that.
They absolutely do.
Right in the middle of all the major shipping routes.
Yeah. They're definitely leveraging their location along with all their existing infrastructure and resources.
To make a strong case.
Exactly.
Now, the article mentions Total Energies.
Uh-huh.
Global energy giant.
Yeah.
They might ramp up their presence in Egypt.
Interesting.
What's their history there? Have they been involved in Egypt before?
Oh, yeah. Total Energies is already a player in Egypt.
Okay.
They're involved in the IDCU liquefaction plant.
The
Liquefaction plant.
Oh.
It's a massive facility.
Okay.
It takes natural gas and cools it down to liquid form so it can be shipped overseas.
Oh, wow. So it's like squeezing air into a tiny container.
Exactly.
So they're already in the export game.
They are.
And this new investment policy could encourage them to expand even further.
Precisely.
Interesting. And it's not just Total Energies working alone, right?
Right. The article mentions a partnership with ADNOC,
ADNOC.
another major energy company.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to expand lubricant and petroleum product production and distribution.
So not just within Egypt.
No, across the whole African continent.
Wow, that's a big deal.
It is. It's a game changer.
So it's not just about tapping into Egypt's market.
No, it's about reaching a whole new continent of consumers.
What does that signal to you?
To me, it signals that Total Energies sees real potential for growth
In Africa.
in both Egypt and Africa more broadly. It's a real vote of confidence in Egypt's strategy.
Okay, so we've got Egypt making big moves to attract investment.
Yep.
Total Energies potentially stepping up their game.
Uh-huh.
And this fascinating partnership with ADNOC.
It's all coming together.
Anything else that jumped out at you from the article?
Let me think.
No, come on. There's got to be something else.
Well, there's one more detail that's really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's about the Cypriot Kronos gas field.
Cypriot what?
Kronos gas field. The article says that Total Energies and Eni, another energy company, are planning to develop this field and connect it to Egyptian facilities.
The Cypriot connection.
Yeah.
I don't quite follow.
Well, this is where things get really interesting
Okay.
from a geopolitical perspective.
I like where this is going.
So remember how Europe has been trying to diversify its energy sources?
Of course. Especially after everything that's happened over the past year.
Right. They're scrambling for reliable energy partners.
Makes sense.
And the Eastern Mediterranean, with all its gas reserves, is becoming more and more important.
Okay.
So by developing this Kronos field and linking it to Egypt, Total Energies and Eni could become part of the solution for Europe's energy needs.
So Egypt's not just thinking about its own energy.
No.
They're positioning themselves as a key supplier for Europe.
Exactly.
That's some next-level chess playing.
It really is. It highlights how energy can be a powerful tool in geopolitics.
Oh, for sure.
And by becoming this key energy hub, Egypt could enhance its own influence on the world stage.
Wow. I'm already getting a sense of just how strategic this whole thing is.
It is.
But before we get too ahead of ourselves,
Yeah.
you mentioned this new investment policy paper.
Uh-huh.
It's key to all of this, right?
It is.
Can you give me a little more insight into what it actually says?
Well, you'll be interested to know that this policy paper outlines some really attractive incentives for foreign investors.
Like, what kind of incentives?
We're talking tax breaks for renewable energy projects
Oh, wow.
and a streamlined permitting process to cut through all that bureaucratic red tape.
So they're really serious about making it easy to do business in Egypt.
Exactly. It's like they're rolling out the red carpet.
So it's not just about attracting investment.
No, it's about shaping the future of Egypt's energy sector.
That's a great point.
Mm.
Let's dive into those details and see what we can uncover.
Sounds good to me.
We've got Egypt attracting major investment, forging key partnerships, and potentially even playing a role in European energy security.
That's a lot to unpack.
This is definitely getting interesting.
It is, and it's just the tip of the iceberg.
What do you mean?
Well, this is just one article,
Right.
and it's already revealed so much about Egypt's ambition and their strategic approach.
To becoming a major energy player.
Exactly.
This deep dive is already exceeding my expectations.
Mine too.
Can't wait to see what other insights we uncover as we keep exploring this topic.
Me too. We're just getting started. Okay, so we talked about the IDIPEC liquefaction plant
Right.
and how that lets them export natural gas.
Right.
But what else makes them a good candidate for this gas hub thing?
Well, they do have their own gas reserves, right?
Exactly. They've got significant reserves.
Like the Zohr field.
Yeah, the Zohr field was huge.
That was a game changer.
It really was.
Yeah.
But it goes beyond that.
Okay.
Their location makes them like a natural transit point for gas.
Oh, you mean flowing from the Eastern Mediterranean?
Exactly. To other markets.
They're like a crossroads.
Right, connecting producers and consumers.
But how does this policy paper actually support that?
Well, it lays out a plan
Okay.
to modernize and expand their pipeline network and gas processing facilities.
Oh, so they're upping their infrastructure game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're offering incentives for companies to invest in it.
Oh, so they're not just saying, come extract our gas.
No, it's more like, come help us build the pipelines, the storage facilities, the whole shebang.
Oh, shebang.
And we'll make it worth your while.
So it's not just about attracting investment.
Right.
They want to encourage companies to invest in the whole ecosystem.
They're thinking long term.
Big picture stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this brings us back to the Cypriot Kronos field
Oh, right.
that we talked about earlier.
Total Energies and Eni.
Right.
They're going to develop that field and link it to Egyptian facilities
Uh-huh.
so they can just tap into Egypt's existing system.
Exactly.
Well-
Saves them a ton of money.
Smart move.
It's a win-win.
How so?
Total Energies and Eni can leverage existing infrastructure,
Okay.
and Egypt strengthens its position as this gas hub.
Like adding another spoke to the wheel.
Exactly.
This reminds me of the shale gas boom.
Oh, yeah.
In the U.S., like everyone was scrambling to get involved.
Similar dynamic, for sure.
Yeah.
And Egypt's ambitions could have a big impact, too,
Beyond just Egypt.
on the region and beyond, potentially.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the business side.
Yeah.
What does all this mean for everyday people?
That's a good question.
Hmm.
This isn't just about oil and gas flowing through pipelines.
It's about economic development.
Okay, paint me a picture.
So imagine increased investment in Egypt's energy sector.
Okay,
That means new jobs.
got it.
Not just in oil and gas, but in related industries too.
Like,
Construction, manufacturing services.
it's a ripple effect,
Exactly. With all that comes improved infrastructure.
like better roads.
Yeah, more reliable electricity, modern ports, all contributing to a higher standard of living.
I see. And beyond the regional stuff, I'm guessing this could shake things up globally, too.
Absolutely. As they ramp up production and export capacity, they could become a major player in the global market,
Affecting prices and all that.
potentially. And we can't forget about their potential role in supplying gas to Europe.
Right. Europe needs to find alternatives.
Exactly. And Egypt, with its location and all, could be a crucial partner.
This is where things get really interesting.
Geopolitically speaking, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How will Egypt balance their relationships
It's a tough question.
with BRICS and Europe?
They're walking a tightrope, trying to keep everyone happy.
Yeah, but it gives them leverage.
Like they're a bridge between different regions.
Exactly. Powerful position to be in.
For sure. Are there any clues in the policy paper about how they'll do that?
Well, the paper mostly focuses on the economic stuff,
Right.
but it's clear they know the geopolitical implications.
They're playing the long game
I think so. They're looking beyond just profits.
to enhance their influence.
Yeah, they're thinking big.
Ambitious plan.
It is. It really is. Are there any downsides, though?
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
That's a great question. So we've been talking about all the potential upsides.
Yeah, Egypt's got the resources, the location.
They seem to have the drive to really become a major energy player.
Right.
But what could go wrong? What are some of the risks?
Well, like with any big plan, there are always risks.
Of course.
I think one of the biggest challenges for Egypt is stability.
Stability.
Yeah, internal stability.
Okay.
Political unrest, social instability, those kinds of things.
Because those could scare off investors.
Exactly. Investors want predictability.
And Egypt's had some political turmoil in recent years.
They have.
Yeah.
And even if they keep things stable internally,
Right.
there are always external factors.
Like what?
Well, global energy prices, for one,
Oh, of course.
those can be really volatile.
Very unpredictable.
Exactly. A sudden drop in oil or gas prices could really hurt their plans.
And make those investments less attractive.
Right.
It's a gamble. They're betting on continued demand for fossil fuels.
They are.
But what if the world switches to renewables even faster?
At the big risk.
Their whole strategy could be undermined.
It's possible.
Yeah.
And then there's the competition.
Oh, right. Other countries want to be energy hubs, too.
Exactly. It's not just Egypt.
Oh, they've really got to be on their toes.
They do. They need to adapt to a changing world.
And manage all those relationships.
With BRICS, with Europe.
Playing both sides.
It's a delicate balancing act.
Could backfire if they're not careful.
It could.
Well, it's a high-stakes game, for sure.
It's
No easy answers.
Nope.
But that's what makes it so fascinating.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that's why we do these deep dives.
To unpack these complex issues.
Exactly. Help people connect the dots.
Even when we don't have the full picture.
It's all about asking the right questions.
And giving people the tools to make sense of things.
Right. So let's go back to that big question.
You mean, will Egypt succeed?
Yeah. Will they become a major energy player?
What do you think?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think they have a chance.
They've got the pieces in place.
They do.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is out of their hands.
Execution, adaptability, a little bit of luck.
Exactly. And that brings me to my final thought for today.
I'm listening.
Think about the wider implications,
If Egypt succeeds,
right? How will this change things?
geopolitically,
Will it bring stability or create new tensions?
and what about the shift to clean energy?
Will Egypt speed that up or slow it down?
Wow, those are some big questions.
They are, but we don't have all the answers.
But by asking the right question,
By digging deeper, staying curious,
we can start to understand these things.
and make better decisions for the future.
Well, this has been a real eye-opener.
It has.
We started with just one article.
And look where we ended up.
Geopolitics, the future of energy.
It's amazing what you can learn.
If you just keep digging.
Exactly.
Well, I think it's time to wrap things up.
Sounds good.
But the conversation doesn't have to end here.
Nope.
We encourage everyone to do their own research.
Read different perspectives.
Form your own opinions.
And join us next
For
time.
another deep dive.
Into a whole new topic.
Until then,
Keep those brains buzzing.
see you next time.